The 1991 series between the Braves and Twins had everything. A 7-game series, 5 games decided by a single run, 4 in their final at-bat, and 3 games that went to extra innings. The Twins won that fall classic behind Jack Morris, taking Game 7 in 10 innings by a 1-0 score over the Braves. Tonight, though, Minnesota makes its first regular season trip to Turner Field and back to Atlanta. It might be 22 years later, but Atlanta still remembers that series. It can't replace 1991, but it sure would be nice to beat up on the Twins. Our big series with Minnesota begins now. The Rains have finally left Atlanta, Georgia. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and this crowd filing into Turner Field as we resume interleague play tonight. It's game 1 of our 3-game series between the Braves and the Minnesota Twins. The Twins bring the M&M boys, Mauer and Morneau, to town, and the Braves counter with Andrelton Simmons and a terrific combination of the Upton brothers and a very strong Atlanta bench as the Braves and Twins meet for the first time in regular season play in the history of Turner Field. Hi again, friends. Tom Glavine, Joe Simpson, Chip Carey with you. Great way to start the homestand, fellas. A 3-game sweep of the Dodgers. Atlanta with 3 comeback wins, in large part, Tommy, because of a very deep Atlanta bench.
Yeah, the bench has been fantastic. Whoever it is on the bench, there's guys that have had to fill in as starters, but the guys on the bench, when they do come off the bench, have done a great job, and yesterday included. You see Gerald Laird there getting things started in the 8th inning. You see Pena with the sacrifice fly, the tie, or put the Braves ahead. And, you know, you need these guys. You're not going to have your starters playing 162 games a year. You need the guys on the bench to fill in for injury or fill in during the course of the game. And, Joe, as we've said, they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, and what was really impressive yesterday, I thought, Tommy, in the mark of any good ball club is your depth. And it wasn't limited to the offense, but some guys, in the absence of some of the guys in the bullpen, some pitchers have been laid up with some bad elbows. Some guys stepped up and are doing the job out of the pen, too.
Great starting pitching as well for Atlanta during this impressive run. And, oh, by the way, the Braves 2.5 games in front of the Nationals now in Eastern Division play in the National League. But we've got to worry about the American League. Tonight, it's the Twins providing the opposition. And when we come back, Tom Hart will tell you about the M&M boys, Mauer and Morneau for Minnesota right after this.
Twins are in town to face off with the Braves, first ever regular season meeting. Well, Chip and Joe told you all about the former version of the Minnesota Twins. Let's get to know this year's version. And they are struggling just a little bit. As a matter of fact, they are dead last in the American League Central, and they're coming off of a 2-7 homestand. They've lost 5 in a row. The M&M boys continue to lead them, but the 5-time All-Star and 2009 MVP Joe Mauer, along with Justin Morneau, a 4-time All-Star and 2006 MVP, both come with a couple of caveats. For Mauer, he continues to hit the ball well, 5th in the American League with a .342 average. However, his caveat spelled with a K. He struck out with the bases loaded in each of the last 2 games. He struck out 3 times yesterday. Meanwhile, for Justin Morneau, the power has seemingly disappeared. Only 2 home runs this season. And keep in mind that he homered 34 times in his MVP season of 2006. The Twins still definitely lean on the M&M boys, but their offense has been slacking as of late. One thing they have in common with the Braves, they had to sit through rain yesterday too. In fact, they've been at the ballpark for 10 hours over the last 2 games. They're happy to see the sunshine and old foes who face off again with some new faces at the ballpark. It's the Twins and the Braves, the first of 3 coming up next.
Strides to the center of the diamond. He'll take the ball for the Braves in game 1 this evening against Ron Gardenhire and his Minnesota Twins. Twins have fallen on tough times. They start play 6 games behind the Indians in the AL Central. Here's their Toyota starting lineup. Brian Dozier leads off at second base. Then it's Mauer and Morneau catching and playing first base respectively. Josh Willingham, a man Braves fans know all about, he's in left field. Trevor Plouffe is their third baseman, with Chris Parmelee in right, Pedro Florimon at short, Aaron Hicks, a young center fielder, and Kevin Correa, a longtime National League hurler, going to the mound.
They'll be facing Braves right-hander Julio Teheran, making his 12th start on the year, 2-1 with a 4.81 ERA. You see his splits on the season. Got off to a little bit of a rough start. First 3 starts, really has picked things up his last 4 starts, 2-1 with a 2.84, and coming off a good start, although he suffered the losses last time out in Arizona, going 6 innings and giving up 2 runs.
Best part about that split, I thought, Tommy, was the fact that he's only walked 1 in his last 4 starts. His Ford Keys tonight, first inning blues. The first inning, 5 runs and 7 first inning outings that he's had, but a .387 average against him in the first inning. And with his success over his last 3 or 4 starts, he started employing his changeup a little more confidence with it. Hopefully he'll continue to use that today too.
A couple of real weird factors in early innings for the Braves and Twins. The Braves have fallen behind in 11 consecutive games. The opposition has scored first. You mentioned Teheran's first and second inning troubles. That's certainly true. But Minnesota has been dramatically outscored in the very first inning this year. So very, very important to see if Teheran can keep that statistic in play tonight.
Only Houston has allowed more first inning runs.
So that's Brian Dozier. He's the Twins leadoff man and second baseman. He hails from Braves country out of Tupelo, Mississippi and Southern Miss. The Twins just wrapped up a disastrous homestand. They were 2-7 at Target Field against the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Orioles. And a first pitch strike has this game underway. 85 degrees, the official game time temp. Flats out of play, quickly 0-2. Little taste of summer today in Atlanta, fellas.
Yeah, it's a little warm today. It was nice, though, after all that rain and crazy weekend. It was nice.
That slides off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's your umpiring crew tonight. Bill Welke has the plate. Paul Nowert at first base. Fieldon Culbreth at second. And Brian Onora at third. Slowly hit toward Simmons at short. Andrelton's got it and takes care of Dozier. 1 out. Here's Atlanta's defensive lineup tonight. Upton, and Hayward left to right. Freeman, Ugla, Simmons, Francisco first to third. And Gerald Laird behind the plate. So here's Joe Mauer. Hitting a lofty .342 for the Twins. He's hit safely in 15 of his last 16 games. You heard Tom mention in his report a moment ago, Joe's been striking out a bit more frequently. He has 39 of them this year. But this Twins club, fellas, is so starving for offense, some speculating that Mauer's trying to hit home runs and put the ball in play to help out any way he can at the expense of striking out.
I think the obvious part of their need for offense is he's batting second and Morneau third instead of third and fourth. They can't find anybody at the top of the order to get on base.
I say he struck out in 16 straight games, and when you're hitting .342, that'll get overlooked a little bit. Nobody's going to care too much.
There you see the Twins offensive ranks. A lot of young players playing in a big ballpark. And frankly struggling of late. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, you know they're scuffling if, even though he's hitting .342 coming in, we're past the middle of May and he's only got 13 RBIs.
Sharply hit out to second. Ugla makes the throw to first on a short hop, and Mauer hits a rocket but is out number 2. So as few RBI chances as Joe Mauer has had, the same can't be said for Justin Morneau. He's had a great month of May and is hitting .299 overall for the season.
Classic low ball hitter, low ball left-handed hitter.
Had him fooled quickly. 2 strikes. Here's our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile. And the month of May for Morneau.
Well, Jason Kipnis has had quite a month for Cleveland, hasn't he?
So is that ball club. They can't be beaten of late. Terry Francona is doing a heck of a job for the Tribe. They won again today and have won 18 of their last 22 games. Ground ball off the heel of Freeman's glove. Recovers, fires high and wide. And on the ricochet, the ball heads back toward the Braves on deck circle, but no further advance. That's ruled an error.
Good crossover step by Freddie to get in front of it. And might have still had a play with a good throw, but he had to rush it too much. An E3.
Tough error. It's a tough play.
So the inning stays alive for Josh Willingham. He's hitting 197 with 5 homers and 18 knocked in. Of course, we've seen Josh play an awful lot in the Eastern Division with Marlins and the Nationals. Last year, his first season in Minnesota, and it was a great one. He had 35 home runs. His best home run total as a big league player.
His back stays healthy. He's a good player, good solid major league player and hitter. He's one of the guys that during that homestand had a tough time, that hurt when they had some guys on. He was just 4 for 29.
That misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brian McCann gets the night off. He's caught 4 games in a row. Secondly, Gerald Laird played in Detroit. Division rivals with the Twins, knows this club pretty well. He tries to guide Teheran through this first inning, with Willingham facing a 2-2 count now. Again, Simmons at short. Ugla at second, and that retires the side. Teheran pitches around a tough error at first for Freddie Freeman. Now the Braves go to work against Kevin Correa in a scoreless first inning. 12-5 so far at Turner Field. Atlanta just swept the Los Angeles Dodgers. Braves 2.5 games ahead of the Nationals in the East. The Toyota starting lineup has Simmons, Hayward, and Justin Upton first, second, and third. Freeman, Gerald Laird fifth, Dan Uggla sixth, Juan Francisco, B.J. Upton, and Julio Teheran facing Kevin Correa.
Making his 9th start in the year, 4-3 with a 3.35 ERA. His last time out, lost to the White Sox, 7 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. It's been pretty good for these guys. He's 6 out of his 8 starts. He's gone at least 7 innings, so he's one of the few guys in their rotation that's been eating up some innings.
Funny you should say that about eating up some innings, because that's a cue for the Ford keys to pitching success. He has been an innings eater. And Cutter Buck makes a real nice shirt. But he is also a cutting fastball machine. Lots and lots of cutters.
Kloof at third, handles a hot shot and makes the play at first. And Simmons grounds out for out number 1. You guys mentioned the troubles that the Twins have had with their pitching staff. They have the 13th best starters earned run average in the American League. Last year, Ron Gardenhire's rotation had the 29th best ERA in all of baseball. And as we've seen in Atlanta, Tommy, if you pitch, you win. If you don't, you end up with an 18-22 record like the Twins have.
Absolutely. It all starts with your pitching. If they're giving you a chance every night, you can do some things.
Jason pops up the first pitch to the left side. Kloof gives chase at the railing and have a play.
That's an interesting stat list, because they're first in the fewest walks allowed. Maybe that's because they don't ever get to account to walk anybody because they're giving up so many hits.
Well, there's strikes and there's quality strikes, and strikes down the middle of the plate are not going to be too good results wise.
Jason Hayward has the Braves' first hit of the day.
That was a mistake. Mauer wanted that down and away, and it caught a lot of the plate. Good start of the night for Jason Hayward.
His third hit since coming off the disabled list, and that brings up Justin Upton. He swings at the first pitch and pops it foul. And that's a quick strike. The Twins defense: Willingham, Aaron Hicks, Chris Parmalee from left to right, Kloof, Florimon, Dozier, and Morneau around the horn, and Joe Mauer back behind the plate.
4 first-round picks out on the field for them. Beginning with Mauer behind the plate, who was the first pick in the draft when he came out of high school, but Hicks in center, Parmalee in right, and Kloof at third, all former first-round picks by the Twins.
A little late. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned all the troubles Minnesota has had with their pitching staff. They've tried to change that starting 5. We're seeing Correa tonight. We'll see Mike Pelfrey tomorrow. We'll see Vance Worley on Wednesday. All former National League pitchers. Pop fly out of play, and Upton still a 1-2 count.
Justin's always had good numbers in interleague play. As we take a look at the Ram Trucks power stats, Justin a .326 career average, Some other Braves in there with good numbers too. Gerald Laird getting the start behind the plate at 324.
Downstairs, good eye. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Kevin Correa has always pitched pretty well against the Braves. 3-2 career mark against Atlanta, and a real good ERA in this ballpark. 2.66 ERA here.
Full count. You force the issue here, Tommy, with Hayward at first and Upton up.
Yeah, I do.
Me too. I'm on board.
Let's see what Freddie Gonzalez does. 3-2 pitch. Hayward is running. Upton, base hit left field. Jason round second. He's on his way to third. No chance for Willingham. Runners at the corners with 1 out. Boy, you guys are great managers.
It's easy from up here.
Yeah, because if it's a strike him out, throw him out, double play, all we say is we go to the second. Nice at bat by Justin after falling behind in the count and getting something he could handle. And always love Hayward's aggressive play on the bases too.
Freddie Freeman now the key man in the inning. First and third, 1 out for the Braves first baseman. Freeman with 23 RBIs. One ball, no strikes.
Good opportunity here for the Braves to add to that first inning woes of the Twins.
Low ball 2. Down the right field line, but foul.
I'll give you a real quick comparison on Joe Mauer. When I was talking about him having 2 homers and only 13 RBIs, hitting .342. Well, Freddie Freeman has about, let me look again, about 40 fewer at bats thanks to Freddie's trip to the disabled list. He's got 2 homers. He's hitting .289, not .342, and he's got 10 more RBIs than Mauer.
Two balls and a strike. Base hit center field. 3 straight Atlanta hits. Hayward scores to make it 1-0. So that snaps that streak of the opponents scoring first for the Braves as Atlanta jumps in front off Kevin Correa.
He's catching a lot of the plate, Tommy.
Yeah, he is, and as we've seen so often, if you're making mistakes over the heart of the plate with this club, you're going to pay for it.
Three hits in a row for Atlanta. That brings up Gerald Laird, the catcher tonight. Another day, another different lineup for Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez. Laird tonight becomes the 8th different Brave to bat 5th. In the air to right. Parmalee going back in the sunshine. He'll make the grab. Upton will tag at second and make his way to third base with 2 outs. Laird hit that ball awfully hard. 2 outs.
Everybody was talking about the good work the Braves did in the 8th inning last night or yesterday afternoon without a home run.
It ended up being last night, probably.
Yeah, yes, it did, come to think of it. But stringing all those hits together and getting off to another good start today with doing the same thing, it's a good sign.
Yesterday, the Braves picked up their 2nd win of the season in a game in which they didn't homer. We're off to a good start tonight with Dan Ugla. Box and taking high, ball 1.
Dan's faced Correa a lot. A 294 career mark against him with a homer.
High fly ball crushed deep left. That one's going to go way out of here.
Did you have a feeling that one was going out?
It sounded like it, for sure.
Dan's first homer since May 8th in Cincinnati.
Wow, was that loud.
Another mistake over the heart of the plate.
Nothing wrong for a starting pitcher to have 4 in the first in a good way.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy that is giving up 4 in the first.
Minnesota, deja vu. Down early and down big, 4-0. A strike to Juan Francisco. Juan's got a streak he needs to end. He's struck out in 7 straight at bats. That's down the right field line. That's in for a hit. Armley over quickly, cuts it off, and Francisco has the 5th Atlanta hit of the inning.
It's a good way to snap the 7 straight strikeout skid. Kevin Correa, he got off to a real good start with his new club. First 5 starts, 3-1, 2.23 ERA. The last 3 have not been so good, and a high batting average against him, and off to a bad start tonight. Rick Anderson is the pitching coach for the Twins. They made some changes in their staff after a rough last couple of years. Terry Steinbach is now a bench coach. Bobby Cuellar, a bullpen coach.
They've shuffled around some other members of their staff as well. For Ron Gardenhire, who's in the last year of his contract. He's the man that replaced Tom Kelly as the Twins skipper. 12 seasons at the helm in Minnesota. Here's B.J. Upton. 8th Braves batter to hit in the inning. And our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. That's B.J. Upton's work against the Twins while with Tampa Bay.
Tearing them up. 24 RBIs.
Yeah, maybe that'll be what the doctor ordered for him.
He got a key hit 2 nights ago to get that rally started in the 8th. The 1-out sharp single to left.
0-2 for B.J. Upton. High fly ball center field. But that's playable for Aaron Hicks at the edge of the warning track. The hit parade started for the Braves early in the first inning. Hayward, a single. Justin Upton, a single. Freddie Freeman, an RBI single. And then Dan Uggla, a 2-out, 3-run tape measure home run, giving the Braves a 4-0 lead heading to the second. By AT Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. 4-0 Braves. Dan Uggla, the big blow. He snaps an 0-for-11 streak with a 3-run homer off Kevin Correa. And now Julio Teheran, the young Braves right-hander, goes to the mound with that big advantage in this second inning. And speaking of young, youth is the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoor Leaderboard tonight.
When the season started, the Braves were the youngest team in baseball, but the Astros, with some of the changes they've made, trying to shuffle some guys in, and I think you'll see them get younger and younger as the season goes on. They start bringing up some kids to find out if they're ready to play in the big leagues. I doubt that the Astros will give up that lead all year long.
What those teams in the middle there from the Braves down, got to feel pretty good and pretty excited about their teams. They're all playing well, good baseball teams, and oh, by the way, they're young too, so you'd figure they'd have that success for a while.
This is Trevor Plouffe. He's the Twins' third baseman, and he takes a ball inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 4 homers, 16 knocked in for Plouffe, hitting .252. He drives that one well, foul out of play.
Again, he was a first-round pick in 2004. We saw a little bit of him in 2010 when the Braves were up at Target Field, and he was trying to break in. But last year, 24 home runs. The weird part was he only had 55 RBIs.
Broken bat line drive to Dan Uggla. Let's not forget, too, the Twins, after a 66 and 96 season, not only changed their pitching staff, they totally changed their outfield. Denard Span and Ben Revere were each traded from the Twins in a span of 8 days after last season to add more youth and pitching depth in their minor league system. And those guys were top of the order type hitters for Mauer and Morneau and Plouffe. Now they're playing elsewhere. As Chris Parmalee looks at a strike.
That's a very good point, Chip, with regards to guys who knew how to get on base and how to work the count, draw a few walks, could bunt to get on base. And Aaron Hicks, I'm told, made the club in spring training, coming out of spring training, because they gave him an opportunity and he never took his foot off the gas. He did a great job in the spring to earn the job, and confident he could do it.
Meanwhile, Julio Teheran looks to have real good stuff tonight. He's throwing everything for strikes. And he blows away Chris Parmalee for his first strikeout of the night. The Twins right fielder is out number 2.
Tommy, he pitched really well in Arizona. Braves just couldn't get any runs across for him. He only gave up 2 runs in his 6 innings, and again didn't walk anybody. So it may have slowed him down a little bit in the wins and losses, but certainly didn't change anything about the way he's been pitching.
No, and I think with a young guy in particular, yeah, you certainly want to see them win games and kind of get the fruits of their labor, so to speak. But from an organizational standpoint, from Freddie's standpoint, they want to see this guy get better every time he goes out, and he's doing that right now.
Florimon with a comebacker. Teheran fields that and makes the play to first base. 3 up, 3 down. A shutdown inning for Julio, who will lead off the Atlanta second with a 4-run lead. In Atlanta this evening. And great baseball coming your way on Fox Sports South as we bring you the most coverage of the ACC baseball tournament. All the action comes your way live from Durham, North Carolina, starting Wednesday at 11 o'clock in the morning here on Fox Sports South. Rough first inning for Kevin Correa. 4 first inning runs. Dan Uggla's towering home run, the decisive blow. And now, one of the most athletic hitting pitchers in the National League, Julio Teheran.
Why do you stir him up?
I haven't seen him in a while.
He's helping himself out with the bat a little bit. You got to give him some props. He's got 1 sack bunt. Most importantly, how many opportunities does he have? That's the thing you got to take care of. The hits are gravy. Got to get your bunts down.
We had Mike Minor picking up a hit yesterday. Chris Medlin got a hit the day before. Paul Mahalam a day before that. You been working with these guys or something?
No, but they probably hear me throwing the athlete word around a little bit. They want to get in on the action. I'm sure Huddy's been talking smack down there. So
up the middle. Julio Teheran with a leadoff single.
I mean, I'm not saying it. I mean, just
if you folks at home could see Tom's face right now. Fifth hit for Teheran this year.
It's just going to be hard to live with him. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw the ball down the middle, you hit the ball up the middle. I mean, it's really a simple game.
I will say this: Julio's spray chart is improving.
Here's Andrelton Simmons. He grounded out sharply to third his first time, and he hits one there again. Loof to second for one, and the Twins turn a twin killing. 2 outs, base is empty for Hayward. Loof to Dozier, 2 more no. The double play, and here's Jason. One ball, no strikes. Twins gave Correa a 2-year contract for $10 million. 4-3 record this year. He's won 10 or more in 4 consecutive seasons as a big leaguer, and was an all-star with the Pirates a couple of years ago.
He's been 12 and 11 each of the last 2 years.
Howard framed that one nicely. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A little off that pitch. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a changeup or if it was just a fastball that he was two-seamer he was trying to turn over, but Jason kind of pulled that right out of the catcher's glove to stay alive.
And the air to center. Hicks going back will have room, and that retires the side. Nothing happening for the Braves in the second. We go to the third. Time up 4-0.
It's 4-0. Pre-game guys told you about that 1991 World Series, and we revisit Game 6. And this is a flashback going back to one of the Twins' best. Kirby Puckett off of Charlie Leibrandt in Game number 6, riding the wind all the way out of the ballpark, and a Twins victory. They would claim it in 7 games. So the Twins on a 5-game losing streak today in their radio booth, consisting of Corey Probus and Dan Gladden, who played on 2 World Series teams, have built a shrine. They brought a Ken Herbeck jersey with them. That's Dan Gladden, glove in hand on the left. And if you look closely, you can see a Kirby Puckett bobblehead on the right from that Game 6 home run. And yes, they made a bobblehead of Ken Herbeck and Ron Gant from game number 2 when Gant was lifted off the bag Braves would have had runners at first and third in that situation in a scoreless game after Gant had singled into the wind in the second inning. They need all the luck they can get, so they've built the shrine to try and bring them some luck here in this regular season series.
Thank you, Tom. You know, Herbeck spelled backwards is cheater.
That's the best one you've had, next to Shin Soo Choo.
Yeah, we didn't get that one on the air. Maybe later in the year.
Yeah.
So Aaron Hicks goes to work against Julio Teheran. And Hicks takes the ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 14th pick overall in the 2008 draft was Aaron Hicks. I believe he's a California kid.
Yeah, he's actually a product of the Major League Baseball urban baseball
the academy.
Yeah,
the RBI
from Compton, California,
and making the jump from Double-A to the big leagues this year for Minnesota. And while you look at his overall batting average and the like, compared to rookies in the American League, he's doing okay. He's putting up some impressive numbers.
Yeah, it's just the average. And the report we got on him was that as good as he was in spring training, and like I said, he had his foot to the pedal the whole way through, playing so well. And then they opened up with Detroit, and Justin Verlander struck him out 3 times in game 1, and it's been a little bit of a eye-opening wake-up call since.
In the air to shallow center, and Hicks has a leadoff hit. So a good start to the Minnesota third. Let's check in with Elizabeth.
We'll keep on going on the 91 World Series theme. We have a tweet from Craig. He's most remembered my outrage in order. That Gant travesty, Lonnie Smith at second base, and the Kirby Puckett catch. Guys, lots of tweets on Mark Lemke's incredible series.
He did have a good one.
Scoots had a good series. Yes, he did.
Here's Kevin Correa. Again, a big advantage, I think, for the Braves in interleague play, at least in the National League ballparks. They're facing a Twins team that's already offensively challenged, and they have to take down their designated hitter and have their pitchers hit.
See, now there you go. Depends on how you look at that. Maybe it's an upgrade. Getting some athletes in the lineup.
See, you asked for that one, Chip.
I did. I'm just trying to tee the man up. You know what I'm saying?
I guess if there's an advantage for him, it is a National League guy who's bunted before. I think. Got their National League guys, as they call them, set for this series that have all hit and had to put some bunts down. Pelfrey and Worley to follow.
Twins start a stretch tonight of 15 of 20 on the road after a 2-7 homestand. They're in last place in their division. And Correa with 2 strikes got the bunt down. Francisco to peg to first with Uggla covering. Hicks to second, and 1 man out. Braves 5-game packs are a great way to catch your Braves in action all year long. Select 5 games of your choosing and enjoy savings of up to $4 off the gate price on each ticket. Get a 5-game plan today by going to Braves.com/5game or by calling 404-577-9100. Here's Dozier. Hitless in his last 11 at bats for Minnesota. Right off his hands and into the seats. 0-2. Dozier made his big league debut almost a year ago to the day. It was last May 7th against the Angels, and picked up his first big league hit in his first big league game. And he is down on 3 pitches. Teheran with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball has 2 strikeouts tonight.
I know there are some summer leagues that are wood bats for guys in college, and that helps them get used to swinging a wood bat in competition. But those guys that can make the jump from college to the big leagues pretty fast and make that adjustment from aluminum to wood, you gotta hand it to them. That's not easy.
Well, here's an area where the Twins have been awfully good this year. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs. They've struggled with no outs or 1 out, but with 2 outs, they have really made some hay. And here's a chance for Mauer to cut into this lead. The Twins this year hitting .301 with runners at second base or third base and 2 outs, and an astounding 71 RBIs.
That's impressive.
Maybe they want to start their innings with 2 outs.
There you go.
Get a little 2-out lightning going.
One 1-0 to Mauer. And that one caught a corner. Joe mentioned the #1 overall pick in the 2001 draft was Joe Mauer. Mark Pryor went #2 to the Cubs. Think how differently the histories of those 2 franchises would have been had Pryor been the #1 overall pick. Well, Joe, a hometown kid, starring for the Twins. And a foul ball by an eyelash. Man, a seeing eye ground ball somehow rolled foul at the last moment.
Just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Launched to the left, foul.
That was odd. Gerald Laird gave the sign and he moved in, and then before the pitch was delivered, then he moved back. He moved out. I wonder if they got the feeling that maybe now the Mauer was peaking.
Either that or a second baseman giving, or a runner on second given location.
Uh-huh.
1 ball, 2 strikes. To left, where Upton drifts back, still going back on the track and has plenty of room. Real interesting sequence there with Teheran, Laird, and Mauer. We'll investigate that when we come back for the home half of the 3rd inning. The third inning, great start for Atlanta and Julio Teheran, as you see on our Blimpie game summary.
Good start in the first inning. 3 singles, then a homer. This was the RBI third single of the inning by Freddie Freeman, and then this launch job by Dan Uggla, his 8th of the year, and it gives him 21 RBIs.
So Atlanta tries to add on against Kevin Correa in this third inning with Justin Upton leading things off. And before we continue on any further, we all in our baseball jobs get wrapped up in the game and getting you up to date with what's going on with the Braves and the Twins and the rest of the happenings in big league baseball. But I'm sure many of you who aren't watching every second of this game and are tuning back and forth to the news have heard of the horrible tornadoes in Oklahoma and the terrible destruction, not just today but yesterday. Joe, I know you have friends and family still in your home state, and all of our sympathies go out to the folks in Oklahoma today.
Yeah, it's a rough time. My dad had a lot of damage yesterday at his place east of Norman, but today Moore, Oklahoma just about got wiped out.
Base hit by Upton up the middle. He's 2 for 2.
And that was the same area that got clobbered back in 2009 by a tornado that hit virtually in the same exact place. And pictures I'm hearing or seeing and things I'm hearing are just awful.
And so we in Braves country certainly send our thoughts and prayers to Oklahoma, and we all know too well what happened in our part of the world just a couple of short years ago with the terrible tornadoes in Alabama. So if you can send your help to the Red Cross in Oklahoma, because there are a lot of folks who are hurting tonight.
You know, some of the amazing progress they've made in that part of the country. The National Weather Service is centered in Norman, Oklahoma, at the University of Oklahoma. They've got unbelievable science in this stuff. And my sisters told me today that they knew 5 days ago this was going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, that this was forming 5 days ago, and they were expecting it. They didn't know where, of course, but they knew that it was coming together and it was going to be something to be wary of. So at least, you know, there were lives saved because of that science and the prediction, the ability to predict it happening.
Freddie Freeman with an RBI hit already tonight. The Braves have picked up 7 hits in the game so far. And the count, 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball towards second. Bobbled. And the flip to first in time for out number 1. Up to second. Don't know if Dozier would have had a chance for 2, but we'll never know.
Yeah, I don't know that he would have had a chance waiting back on that ball the way he did, and certainly not being hit very hard.
Minnesota's middle of the pack in the American League in defense. Baltimore with the fewest errors with 14. Twins have 20.
Here's Gerald Laird, an RBI chance for Braves catcher tonight, and he takes a strike.
It's another one of those stats you can look at and read one way or the other. The Twins have turned 22 double plays this month, which is tied with St. Louis for the most in baseball. So either their defense is really good or they got a whole lot of base runners.
A lot of chances.
Yeah. Well, the latter is certainly true tonight. As Laird down on a heap.
That was like Scott Van Slyke yesterday, who did it twice in a row.
I was just going to say, he certainly can sympathize with how that feels.
Just about the same place, right on top of the ankle.
Jim Lovell out there, assistant athletic trainer. I'm sure telling you if you just yell War Eagle real loud, it'll feel better.
Joe, do you miss that freeze spray that they'd come out and spray on you when you'd foul a ball off and stuff like that?
What happened to that stuff?
I was just thinking that very same
Where'd
thing.
it go?
I don't know.
Ethyl chloride, thanks, Laser.
Yeah, it didn't make it feel any better. You just couldn't feel it anymore for a little while. So.
Yeah, at least temporarily it was great.
We'll have to ask Lovey or Jeff Porter about that. Where'd that stuff go? You're right.
Probably one of those things somebody figured out that freezing the skin instantly like that, probably not a good thing.
Either that or certainly an ozone factor.
Yes, exactly.
Laird will stay in the game behind in the count 0-2. Broken bat, right side. What a play, Morneau. Race to the bag. Laird is out. A head-first slide by Laird might have been the difference.
Well, we hate to see that for fear of injury. His teammates appreciating his efforts after the foul ball. I'm just wondering if he was out of steps. You know, his ankle hurts so bad. He's like, I got to either dive or just fall down here. Hurts so bad. That was a close play.
Yeah, well, it looked like he got him, but.
Yeah. Just barely. Good call.
Yes. Always hold your breath when you see guys going in there like that. They're not going to get stepped on, and thankfully he didn't.
Aguilar swings the first pitch and drives this one toward left center. And Hicks is there to retire the side. No runs, a hit, a man left. We go to the fourth inning. 4-0. Braves lead the Twins in game one. By the Georgia Lottery, by the Home Depot, and by Toyota. Fourth inning in Atlanta, 4-0. Braves over the Minnesota Twins as Julio Teheran begins his warm-ups for this frame. Let's check out tonight's AT&T Uverse trivia question. Which player scored the most runs in the 1991 World Series? The most runs scored for either team. That's our trivia question tonight.
That's a tough one. Certainly Mark Lemke would be a nominee as many times as he is on base. Dan Gladden too, though. He's in the ballpark.
So we'll ponder that for a few moments as Teheran gets set for the 3-4-5 hitters for Minnesota. Last time the Twins were up, we talked about Gerald Laird's unique positioning behind the plate with Joe Mauer in the batter's box. Thought maybe he had stolen a sign or had gotten a sign on location from second baseman, or the man at second base, Aaron Hicks. How would he transmit signs to a teammate at the plate?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. At least when I played, there were different ways. You know, it was as simple as, you know, if a guy was bent over, taking his lead, it was away. If he stood up taking his lead, it was in. If, you know, if he moved with one foot, it was in. The other, it was away. Maybe sometimes you can look one way to designate the pitch is away. You know, guys always check the outfielders before the pitch is thrown. So if you look to right field, it's in. If you look to left field, it's away. I mean, there's all kinds of little things. I don't know if it's as much a part of the game today as it used to be. Doesn't seem to be, but I mean, I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, I think it was more, at least on first glimpse, that maybe they thought Mauer was peeking back and trying to find location, because Mauer did in that at bat a couple of times kind of look down on his back foot like, I'm not peeking, I'm just checking my foot. You know, it was kind of obvious, but maybe he does that every at bat. I don't know.
And that's an unwritten rule, is it not? If you're a hitter, you don't look back there.
No, you don't peek. That's the only thing that makes me think that may not have been it, because most of the time, if you think a guy's doing that, he's going to get one where he's going to have to get out of the way, let's say.
Yeah.
2-2, two more no, and a base hit the other way. He's a good hitter, folks. So 2 hits puts him over 300 tonight, and a good start to the Twins' 4th inning.
Von Hayes peaked a lot when he was a player. If you remember that name. And one spring in Arizona, even in a spring training game, our catcher set up outside, let him think it was away, and he was leaning away, and then just got low bridge. First thing that hit was his number falling backwards, and that was the last time he did that.
And I'm sure the catcher had a comment or two of, how'd you like that location?
Yeah, he did. Orlando Mercado said, try it again.
Well, as good a player as Josh Willingham has been, Atlanta is a location he doesn't like. He has not had much luck in this ballpark. A lifetime 140 hitter at Turner Field. And tonight, 0 for 1. And now an 0-2 count.
But that's one of the things I appreciate when we find a guy, run across a guy, an opponent who has good numbers at Turner Field, because the Braves have had such good pitching for so long that I'm sure Josh didn't look forward to coming here to hit in the 3 or 4 game series.
Yeah, he's not the only one, right?
No, he's not.
And Teheran pulled the string beautifully. That's his 3rd strikeout.
He's throwing a couple of different breaking balls, and that slow one is really effective.
Yeah, he's got that hard cutter and then that slow one there that, you know, he threw it strike 1 against somebody. I forget who it was. And then that one where it's, and what's great about that is out of his hand, like I've talked about so many times with lanes and perceptions, out of his hand, that looks an awful lot like his hard cutter. So if the hitter goes to commit to it and then it's got that late little slow break, it's a tough pitch for the hitter to track.
Here's Plouffe. He lined out to second his first time up.
See, that was the harder one right there, and it comes and out of his hand, it looks very similar to the plane that his cutter starts on, that his hard slider starts on, and the slow one as well. But then it has that late break.
And tonight, fellas, Teheran got through innings 1, 2, and 3 without any problem. That has been his problem in this 2013 year.
Well, and the other thing I like too is sitting here thinking about, I'm sure he hadn't had too many opportunities early in his career where he's had a 4-0 lead early in the game, and it's always interesting to see how a kid goes out there and deals with having a lead.
He is attacking the strike zone,
which you love. I mean, because it's always that, all right, you got a lead now, don't walk anybody. And immediately you start kind of getting a little bit tentative and you start throwing the ball down the middle instead of throwing good strikes. He's not doing that. He's trusting his stuff, and he's still attacking the strike zone, but attacking it with quality pitches.
One ball, 2 strikes for Trevor Plouffe.
Good thing that was a short lead, because his feet are so quick, and that throw to first is so quick that he almost got Morneau, who wasn't very far off the bag.
"56 pitches for Teheran tonight, 39 strikes. Missed by much. And now it's a 3-2 count.
Good pitch. A little outside the line, but pretty remarkable that Plouffe didn't swing.
I was going to say, that's one of those ones you're standing on the mound going, how did you not swing at that?
I lost him. So 1-out walk. Morneau will move to second. Plouffe's at first. And here's Parmalee.
Fans, Hip Hop Pioneers Run DMC will perform live at Turner Field postgame on Saturday, June 1st as part of the Braves Summer Concert Series presented by Coca-Cola and Delta. Get your tickets to see this legendary group at braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000.
Have you heard about that other rap group, DM3?
No, have not.
Yeah, they're apparently going to be there too.
Okay, I'm interested in any information you can give me about them.
Okay.
Battle of the Bands kind of thing.
Here's Run DM3.
Can you imagine Murph trying to rap?
No, I can't.
No.
Parmalee reaches out and drives that one to center. BJ going back, reaching for the fence, makes the grab, and the throw will come in towards second after Morneau tags and moves to third. Parmalee, who hasn't knocked in a run in his last 8 games, nearly hit it out of the park to center.
Well, one thing about Julio, when he came into this game, he still had a .315 batting average against him, but he hasn't made things worse by walking people. Told you he only had 1 walk issued in his last 4 starts and issued 1 here in this inning. They've been a rarity.
Well, you can't have both. One or the other you can survive, and usually if you're walking a lot of guys, you're not going to survive that either. So I think most coaches, most managers would rather see you going out there giving up some hits and surviving that rather than walking guys.
Florimon takes inside, ball 1. Pedro's 26 out of La Romana in the Dominican Republic. The Twins got him off waivers from the Orioles.
That's a pitch a left-handed hitter's going to give up on a lot too, Tommy. Coming out of his hand, looks like it's going to be real wide of the plate, and it's got a lot of spin on it.
Florimon made the jump from Double-A to the big leagues with the Twins last year. He hit .219 in 43 games, made 7 errors. First and third, 2 outs. Braves up 4-zip.
They've got several switch hitters on their team, including Florimon. And left-handed is his better side, hitting .281 left-handed coming in.
He'd like to end the at-bat with his 2-2 pitch. He'll try another. Now Plouffe will be off and running from first with a 3-2 count.
He struck out Parmalee back in the second inning with a high fastball, and he's tried it a couple of times. I think he tried it on Plouffe also when he on a 2-2 pitch, and was too far out of the zone to get an offer.
He ended up with one there by mistake. I think they were trying to go hard in, so maybe having missed on that one, they'll try it again here.
Runner goes, ground ball deep short. Simmons gloves and fires to first in time. Teheran pitches out of his first bit of trouble. It came in the fourth inning. He leads 4-0, and he's coming up third at Turner Field next. Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. Joe Simpson, Tom Glavine, Tom Hart, and yours truly, Chip Carey from Turner Field, where we open up an interleague set with the Twins. Braves got 4 first-inning runs off Kevin Correa, who now goes after the bottom part of the Braves batting order.
Juan Francisco broke his strikeout streak, his first at bat with a nice single.
And 0 for 13 overall, so maybe that'll get Juan back on the beam. His average at .261 for the year. One ball, one strike. Mile high pop up, but no play for Mauer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mentioned that yesterday the Braves won their second game of the season without hitting a home run. They have hit one tonight and lead 4-0. The other part of those home runs has been a lot of strikeouts.
Don't say it. Don't say it yet.
What is, as Francisco looks outside, what's the longest stretch in a game this year for the Braves without striking out?
I have to pass. I saw the note.
Well, I was going to guess right around this portion of the game, just based on it coming up when it
Timing,
did.
sure.
So I know it's somewhere in the neighborhood of where we are right now.
4 1/3 innings.
So this is a big at bat.
This time next inning it'll be a big at bat. Yeah.
Right.
Francisco tries to split the gap in left center, and he will. He's 2 for 2. Second extra base hit for the Braves tonight, and their 8th in total.
Little front foot double here. Got fooled. Change up from Kevin Correa, but again, with Mauer setting up off the plate a little bit, that one just didn't tail enough for him. Had too much of the plate again.
Yeah, that pitch finishes down, you know, on the outside corner a little bit more, maybe below the knees or off the plate. It's awful hard to flip the bat head at it like that. But yeah, Juan was fooled, but it was in the strike zone long enough that he was able to hold on and just flip the bat head. And as strong as he is, he can still drive that pitch.
So B.J. Upton will try to get Francisco to third or home if he can. B.J.'s 0 for 1 with a fly out to deep center in the first inning. Two balls and a strike.
Tough time here for the shortstop, because for Florimon, they're expecting BJ to try to go to the right side to move the runner over, so he's the guy that's got to hold the runner at second close, and then he's got to hurry back to his position.
That was inside. Upton walks. First and second, nobody out. And Teheran will stand up there with a chance to do some fourth inning damage. The SEC baseball tournament starts Tuesday on Fox Sports South. All the action comes your way from Hoover, Alabama. And all the fun at the SEC baseball tourney begins tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. on Fox Sports South.
I was just in Hoover yesterday.
Were you?
Yeah. There's a little baseball tournament with the boys.
Got some good facilities over there, don't they?
Oh, man. Boy, oh, boy. Yeah, they started talking about their high school baseball practice field. I was like, what? They have 2 fields?
Teheran takes low.
I don't know if we had 2 fields in my hometown.
So, Tommy, you talked earlier about...
I can't believe he's bunting right here.
Well, you talked about your sacrifices, and here's one of those chances you got to get it down, right?
Got to get it down. If they let you.
You know, Correa hasn't walked a bunch of guys either. That was only his 9th walk in 56 plus innings.
Bunted off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. While we play the Twins tonight, the Phillies are in Miami. They're tied 1-1. Phillies got bad news today. Carlos Ruiz, a grade 2 hamstring problem, will probably be DL'd. And Ryan Howard's got a bad knee. The Phillies are concerned about that. He might need a shot.
Saw that Young was playing first base. I wonder if some of Ruiz's problem is due to him not being eligible to play at the beginning of the season because of a bad test.
Foul again by Teheran. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillies start play tonight 4.5 games behind the Braves, 2 games under 500 overall. And with Correa's pitch count climbing now, activity's begun in the Twins bullpen. That's Ryan Presley.
Well, 2 strikes and down 4 runs. See if he takes a shot with a breaking ball right here to try and get the strikeout and not let him move these guys over.
He got it down, and it's a beauty. Only 1 play from Mauer, and he makes it.
I'm not sure what his percentage is this year, Tom. I know that's his 2nd sacrifice of the year, but I know tonight he's 1 for 1.
1 for 1 tonight, and did get something off speed right there. And nice job. Put it in the perfect spot. Almost got a base hit out of it.
So Andrelton Simmons will dig in.
I know guys think at times that this is the first pitch might be the best one you get, but I think sometimes Andrelton in these RBI spots goes after that first pitch, and it's not perhaps the best pitch he's going to get. He's a little over aggressive. Hopefully he'll get a good pitch to hit.
Infield creeps in for the Twins with 1 out. Popped up back toward us. And right on top of the monitor.
Broke it.
Broke it. Wow. Got to make that play, Joe. Wow.
Plastic again. Oh, is that pine tar on the ball? It's a scuffed area, yeah.
Yeah. No balls and a strike. The old monitor took 1 for the team, huh? Upton and Francisco lead, and Simmons drives 1 toward left center field. That's playable for Hicks. He'll make the catch. Runner Francisco tagging at third. Throw to the plate is going to be not in time. Hicks made a strong bid for his 7th assist, but Francisco got in just ahead of the tag. A sac fly makes it 5-0.
You know what? He wasn't that shallow either. This guy leads baseball in assists, and he shows you why right here. This was the proverbial 93-foot slide, and 93 feet because obviously 90 feet between bases. But by sliding to the side of home plate, his foot would have gotten to home plate a whole lot sooner, made that play a little bit easier for one. But by sliding to the side and with his hand, he's already 3 feet past home plate by the time his hand got there.
So our Home Depot tools from the dugout. The strong throw by Hicks and the better slide by Juan Francisco.
Now watch the feet. And the hand comes down.
So 18 RBIs for Andrelton. And Hayward a chance with 2 outs.
I think this will show us a little bit better. See how his feet are to the side and already by the plate by the time his hand hits the plate. He had plenty of room there to go in feet first. Can't argue with getting there safely, but next time maybe a little different.
That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Broken bat. Out towards short. Hayward out by a quarter step. Boy, Correa was caught in between there. He wanted to grab that ball. Wisely let it go to his shortstop. And Florimon made the play to end the Braves' 4th inning. Atlanta picks up another run, enjoys a 5-0 lead as we hit a 5th. Teheran pitching an impressive ball game, seeking out win number 3 for Atlanta this year. Back to our AT&T U-verse trivia question. One of our themes tonight was revisiting the 1991 World Series between the Braves and Twins. And the question tonight, again, was which player scored the most runs in the 1991 World Series for either team? Most runs in that series.
Man, that's hard. I mean, it's going to be hard to go against Lemmer, but you said that first, so.
I'm not going to go Lemmer.
You're not going Lemmer?
No.
I'll stay with Lemmer.
I'm going to go Greg Gagne.
Greg Gagne. That's Dan Gladden.
Yeah, I think we're being led down the primrose lane on that one.
You know, Dan Gladden really likes to show off that World Series ring, so that's going to be my answer.
Okay.
Quick strike to Aaron Hicks. And the answer to the trivia question is.
Wow.
TP scored 6 runs.
Let's not tell him that we made 3 picks and none of them were him.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he'll find out. Our minions will be texting momentarily. Hicks pops one into shallow right. Hayward on the run. And Jason gets there for the first out of the 5th inning.
Well, if you'd have just scored 1 or 2 more.
You're just saying?
Just saying.
You know, the Twins, I think, are the only
team ever to win 2 World Championships and never win a road game in the World Series.
No fooling. Huh.
Cardinals and Braves, they had home field advantage back in those days. Remember, the AL and National League alternated home field advantage on a every other year basis. As Wilkin Ramirez will bat for Correa here.
Former Brave.
And he lines to Francisco. Juan's got it. 2 out.
Juan's got a couple of hits, and now he's got the Zaxby's indescribably good play. This ball was hit hard. He was playing even with the bag. Saved a double. He has played some good defense over there.
So the old joke with the Twins was, well, if they didn't have the AC blowing in and out, depending on who was hitting, they might not have won those 2 World Championships. Did you feel that on the mound? Was there a distinct difference, or did you even notice it?
No, I mean, you know, I can't say that I noticed it on the field. You did hear some rumblings about it, and then every now and then you'd look up there and see the flags moving. So that was kind of really the only indication you had that something might have been going on, but you couldn't feel it on the field.
But what a psychological weapon that had to be for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple times standing on the mound and seeing the ones behind home plate were fluttering, and you're thinking, hey, wait a minute. You know?
Brian Dozier, 2-0 count, and right at the Roadrunner Juan Francisco. He's got it, and Teheran is rolling. 5 up, 5 down for Julio. He's pitching a shutout and leads 5-zip. Here's your Delta Airlines on deck trio coming up next for Atlanta. Happy night for the Braves indeed. 5-0 our score as Atlanta comes up for the bottom of the 5th inning. Braves have chased Kevin Correa, touching him for 5 runs in 4 innings, and Ryan Presley now coming on.
They got this guy from the Red Sox in a Rule 5 selection.
And as hard as their starting pitchers have been hit, Ron Gardenhire told me before the game their bullpen's been real good, but they've had to use them way too much. They're in action in inning number 5 tonight.
The thing I loved about the Braves offense tonight is that Correa made some mistakes in the middle of the plate, and Atlanta for the most part didn't miss him, made him pay.
Fly ball center field. Hicks coming on. Aaron has that for the first out. Upton's perfect night comes to a close. He is, however, 2 for 3. Let's check in with Elizabeth.
Well, the search continues for the next Fox Sports South girls. If you love rooting for your hometown teams like the Atlanta Braves, you could join Brittany and Kanika here as the newest member of the Fox Sports South girls. Tell us all the reasons why you have just what it takes to be our next fan ambassador. Go to foxsportssouth.com/girls to register right now. Chip?
Thank you, Elizabeth. Plenty of candidates at the ballpark tonight. Guy's got a pretty live arm. That pitch at 93.
Yeah, he sits 92 to 94, and fastball, curveball, change. After last season, it's interesting that the Red Sox didn't have room for him on their 40-man roster.
Disastrous year Boston had, you'd think they'd be trying to keep all comers, but they've rebounded real well so far in 2013.
Yeah, and with the Texas Rangers, they're the team, you know, that everybody thought they'd really fall apart after Josh Hamilton went to the Angels. They lost a couple of pitchers, and they've got a 6-game lead, 6.5-game lead in the West.
Pop fly out of play by Freeman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the West in the AL. Big story for Texas. Jurickson Profar, the #1 overall prospect in the big leagues, is apparently debuting tonight for the Rangers.
Oakland doesn't typically get going until the second half anyway, so they'll figure something out.
A comebacker will retire Freddie Freeman. And that's the second out. Joe, you mentioned how Presley came over from the Red Sox. Minnesota's a small market club. We all know that. They really do have to be creative in how they put together their roster. 4 #1 picks, as you mentioned, in their starting lineup. But the real trouble for the Twins, with a $75 million payroll, Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau, and Josh Willingham account for $45 million of it.
Of how many total?
45 of 75, those 3 players. Gerald Laird pops one into shallow right. Parmalee is there to make the play and retire the side. Presley looked awfully good. 3 up, 3 down in the Atlanta 5th. Braves up 5-zip.
Over the Twins. Medical news for you. Eric O'Flaherty will undergo Tommy John surgery tomorrow. Dr. James Andrews will perform the procedure. I talked with Craig Kimbrell today about guys who will take Eric O'Flaherty's place as a setup man. And he talked about a number of different relievers which will have opportunities. He said this, these guys have done it before, and they've done it in tight situations. The biggest difference now and going forward is that they'll have to do it in these tight situations night after night after night. But he's confident no matter who it is, Barbaro, Guerin, Avalon, that they're all up to the task. Chip?
Good point, Tom. It is uncharted territory for those guys, but it's the only way you're going to find out, right, Tommy and Joe, is put them in those situations and see who flourishes.
Well, you're going to have to. There's no question about that. I mean, obviously the Braves know these guys. They know their makeup. They're going to put them in roles where they think they can succeed. But at the end of the day, you don't know until you start getting them out there in situations. So it's like every other aspect of this team. Obviously, losing Benners and O'Flaherty is a huge hit to the back end of that bullpen. But you guys, you're going to have injuries, and guys going to have to step in and fill in and pick up the slack, and hopefully those guys can do it out there.
Joe Mauer leads things off for Minnesota in the 6th. Do you ever sit back and think just how fortunate you were to pitch as long as you did without a major injury like Johnny Benners or Eric O'Flaherty and countless others in this game?
Well, most people will tell you I didn't throw hard enough to get hurt. But yeah, I was blessed that I didn't get hurt. Up until I hurt my elbow, all of my injuries were below the waist, knees, ankles. You know, I had those things fixed and cut on and all that stuff. But thank God my arm was always pretty good.
So we wish O'Flaherty great luck tomorrow.
Absolutely. Hopefully it's a fast year for you, Eric.
Mauer swings and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Laser Baker said most of those leg injuries for Tommy were due to base running.
Well,
really?
Yeah. I mean,
athleticism.
My legs took a lot of wear and tear running the bases, you know.
All I know is the 2 athletes in the booth bailed on that foul ball back here a few minutes ago.
I didn't bail. I was staying out of Joe's way.
To first.
He was talking about me and Baker, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
I was going to say, as a pitcher, I'm used to getting called off, so I was staying out of the way.
Now we're getting a fight between Baker and Joe because Simpson was a center fielder.
Okay, boys. All right. Georgia Power Energy tip number 3, Dale Murphy, another center fielder. Georgia Power's commercial energy efficiency program offers rebates to encourage business customers to incorporate high efficiency measures into their facility. Up here in the booth with a new monitor.
That was fast.
It was about time.
Right? No, the picture on the other one was a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Morneau.
I felt like I was in the pit at a NASCAR race. They came in here and whipped that thing out of here in no time.
Yeah.
Morneau 2 for 2, as you see, an infield hit. And one that bounced through the hole at shortstop. His perfect night will come to an end. Uglo will flip to first. That's the second out.
A lot of ground ball outs. It's a good sign, too, for Julio.
That's 8 by my count tonight, to go along with 3 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Here's Willingham 0 for 2. Talked a couple of times tonight about what Teheran has done over his last 4 starts. The command he's had, most noticeable, is 1 walk over 25 1/3 innings, covering 4 starts. We also forget he was skipped a turn in the rotation because of a rainout. Pretty impressive to come back and not lose any control at all after having 9 days of rest between outings in the starting rotation. He promptly drills Willingham with a 1-1 pitch.
Right in the back of the arm.
But the old backup slider.
Mm-hmm.
Willingham said it as he pointed out to Dan Uggla. Yeah, it hit me in the biceps. No big deal. A little flex as well. He takes his lead from first with Trevor Plouffe up there. Plouffe has lined out and walked. He's got a 6-game hit streak working for the Twins. And a bouncing ball to third. Francisco with the peg to second. Teheran another ground ball out. He's cruising. He's got a 5-run lead through 6 innings.
On deck circle, let's take a look at tonight's SunTrust shining moment. Rewind to the first inning. With a couple men on, Dan Uggla snaps an 0 for 11 skid with this mammoth blast. If the ball sounded a little bit different and jumped off his bat a little bit differently, well, there's a reason. Take a look at the model he was using as recently as Friday night. That's a Mariucci bat. He's gone bigger and he's gone longer. In fact, an inch longer, an ounce and a half heavier. Now, 34.5 inches. 32 ounces. The guys in the dugout have taken to calling him Bam Bam because he's taken a club up to the plate. The rumor is that he wanted to let his swing do all the work, and that worked the first time up.
Good info, Tom. It's kind of interesting to be called Bam Bam for that kind of bat because guys are swinging such lighter bats these days. Even Evan Gattis is swinging like a 31-ounce bat. 32 ounces about standard back in the day.
I know Chipper Jones has told the story a million times. I don't know how heavy Chipper Jones' bat was in the minor leagues, but I think it was Willie Stargell that told him, you're going to swing a heavy bat in the minor leagues because you can hit home runs. And he struggled and struggled and struggled the first couple weeks. As Dan is the first Brave to strike out tonight. That ends a season high run for Atlanta in a game without striking out. But Chipper said the first time he hit a home run with that heavier bat in the minor leagues, the comment he used was like falling in love, because the feel, the sound, and obviously the results were all there for him.
And it does force you to use your hands a little bit more and not your arms and body. That was always the philosophy I was taught against a hard thrower, was grab a heavier bat, not a lighter one, because the bat will help swing itself if you get it started with your hands.
Well, it did for Dan in the first inning, a long 3-run homer. So he's had a 1 for 3 night. Juan Francisco has had a 2 for 2 night. All the damage for the Braves offense came against Twin starter Kevin Correa, the first starting pitcher to not record a strikeout against the Braves team this year. And that goes all the way back to September 5th of last year. That note from Dave Laser-Baker. 2 balls and a strike as we've hit the top of the hour and the bottom of the 6th in Atlanta. How often did you guys change the weight of your bats over the course of a year, Joe? Did you mess with it much?
At the end of the year, you might adjust a little bit, a half ounce or even an ounce. Or shorten the length. You might go from a 34.5 to a 34, 32, just to try to get a little better bat control as your arms get a little weary.
Delta Airlines, a proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves, as we see B.J. Upton come to the plate. 1 on, 1 out, 6th inning.
Did you not want any input from me on what I did with my bats?
I was getting that. Had to get the Delta sign in. Okay, Tom.
I don't know what I did, to be honest with you. I went from a cup to an uncup. That was about the extent of my changes.
In the bat?
Yeah.
Welcome to the TMI portion of our broadcast. Upton pops one into shallow center. Nice play by the shortstop. Florimond to range and make the play to retire BJ for the 2nd out. Julio is singled and has sacrificed. Hard hit ball to right. And Parmalee's there to make the play, and that retires the side. Braves stand a runner in the 6th inning, but Teheran back to work in the 7th. He's pitching a 5-0 shutout. The bottom part of the order coming up for the Twins. Parmalee, Florimond, and Aaron Hicks. His good work is our Volkswagen pitching performance.
6 innings, 3 hits, like you say, and continuing his good work of not walking anybody. Only 1 walk in 6 innings tonight, 3 strikeouts, and he's just been filling the strike zone all night long. He's had all his pitches working. He's been aggressive, using that fastball up and down, the breaking ball, that slow curveball or slower curveball there, along with his slider, and lots of ground balls, which is a good indication that his two-seamer is running a little bit, and guys just aren't getting good swings at it. So he's been very impressive tonight and continuing his good work.
Kind of like that disbursement there with the 10 ground outs.
So you made the point, fellas. Freddie Gonzalez wants to see Teheran improve with each passing start. I think it's safe to say that we're seeing that continue tonight.
Well, he's got an assistant pitching coach on the field with him at all times, too, and that's Gerald Laird, who's caught every one of his starts. And early in the season, when things were a little rough, Gerald was the guy who helped navigate him through some problems. And they're very comfortable together.
So Julio's career high at innings pitched is 7. He enters the 7th with Chris Parmelee leading things off. And Laird takes a shot off the legs again. He fouled one off his foot earlier tonight. No balls and a strike. Didn't go. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's cool about him working into the 7th is we were talking about with the bullpen only numbering 6 now, the need for the starting pitching to go deeper. Medlin 7 innings 2 nights ago. Minor 6 innings, but forced out because of a rain delay yesterday. Medlin gave up 2 hits. Minor gave up 3. And Teheran's only given up 3. So excellent work for all 3 of those guys.
2-2 for Parmelee.
Braves starting pitching with their ERA the last 6 games has really ramped it up, and I should say ramped it down, because previous 16 games it had begun to climb.
That's definitely trending in the right direction, like you say, with the bullpen a little short on arms right now. You know, get these guys routinely going 7.
That's outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And the way you're going to go a long way towards being able to do that by being more efficient with your pitch count. And certainly for Teheran, with the lack of walks over his recent starts, that's something he's going to continue to be able to do more and more.
Strike 3 call. Parmelee is down. 1 away in the 7th. He didn't like the call from Bill Welke.
But it was a good one.
And a good start for Julio with Florimon coming up. 92 pitches, 59 strikes, only 3 3-ball counts for Teheran tonight. And Florimon, a 1-hopper to first base. 2 quick outs in the inning. And friends, we invite you to win a Braves autographed game used jersey from the June 14th Braves Giants game, all part of the Jerseys Off Our Backs online auction benefiting the Atlanta Braves Foundation. The auction ends on June 5th, so visit braves.com/jersey auction to place a bid today.
Like Mark Kotze there.
Does a little bit.
Here's Aaron Hicks. And he takes a ball outside. Twins have a ways to go before they are going to threaten for a division championship. In 2010, this club won 94 games. In fact, the Twins had an incredible run of winning 6 division titles in 9 years. They lost 99 games 2 years ago, 96 games last year.
Well, it would be a shame to change managers in the midst of this, in my opinion. I think Ron Gardenhire is a really solid manager, and the Twins always play the game right. They're very professional about the way they go about their business, and they have been short on talent the last couple of years, no doubt about it. It's not the fault of the manager, and they brought Terry Ryan back to be the GM too.
Yeah, Bill Smith was their GM from 2008 to 2011. Ryan is back in the GM's post, where he served from 1994 until 2007. maybe this is a stretch, but it seems to me that the Twins are kind of like the Atlanta Braves of the American League in the way that they develop from within and go about their business, Joe, as you just said. Fly ball center. And B.J. Upton is there, and that is that. Teheran matches his career high in innings pitched. He's going to continue on, one would presume. By Ram Trucks and by AT&T. Five 0 Atlanta. We head to the bottom of the seventh inning. Nice crowd enjoying a great pitching performance by Julio Teheran. The Braves got 4 first-inning runs off Kevin Correa, and that to this point has been more than enough as the Braves try to win their 4th consecutive game this year. Eduardo Escobar checks in to play shortstop for Minnesota. The Twins will double switch as you take a look at Caleb Thielbar.
He's out of South Dakota State, where he was the Jackrabbits all-time leader in starts and innings pitched. Signed as a minor league free agent. 26 years old. This is his major league debut. Those were his numbers at Rochester. Caleb Thielbar. He'll pitch for the Twins for about 10 years, and then in his 10th year, somebody will ask him, well, who'd you make your debut against? And nobody will believe it was against Atlanta.
All the quirks of interleague play, and the first man he'll face is Andrelton Simmons, who greets him with a base hit. Well, he got that out of the way.
Yeah. That's a rewarding feeling for Greg Walker, too. That we saw kind of, I think we were actually looking at B.J. Upton or somebody in the dugout, but Andrelton and Greg Walker were having a discussion in the foreground, maybe about his last at bat or his approach or something when he got the sacrifice fly. That worked. But to get a base hit here after a little discussion with your hitting coach, that's rewarding for both parties.
Jason Hayward hits and takes a strike. I'm sure you remember your first big league game, Tommy.
I do. I gave up a whole bunch of hits.
Hayward, a ground ball towards second. Twins will get one, and that is all as Simmons is forced. Thielbar was a 18th round pick by Milwaukee. Minnesota signed him as a minor league free agent in 2011. And he had pretty good numbers all the way through the minor leagues, just never got a chance to advance in the Brewers system.
Their closer, Perkins, is a left-hander, so they needed another guy. Or they have one other one. They needed 3, and that's why they called him up.
So Justin Upton bats with a 2-for-3 night. And that's over the outside corner. High fly ball center. Hicks going back at the track and shy of the wall, makes the play. Hayward tags and will move to second. Upton just missed.
Great extension. The ball was just a little bit out on the end of the bat. It's the only thing that kept this in the park. What, Aaron Hicks has a strong arm.
Six outfield assists and nearly a 7th tonight. So Freddie Freeman bats. He's 1-for-3 with an RBI hit. Strike one.
Pretty good audition for him right here. You assume with the closer being a lefty and them calling him up to have a little bit more left-handed help, this is the kind of situations that if he can handle it, he's going to find himself in more and more as the season goes on.
High fly ball left side of the diamond, and it is play.
Scotty? Oh, sorry, Chip. Go ahead. I know you got something more important to say.
All year long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, low price, every day.
And it was by far more important. All I was going to say is the scouting report on Theo Bar was high 80s, low 90s. The last pitch to Freddie was 93.
And he strikes out Freddie Freeman. Welcome to the show, Caleb Thielbar. He works a scoreless 7th inning. And Atlanta still maintains a 5-0 lead. Teheran, a 3-hitter to this point. A good start to this series, and hopefully more great pitching to come tomorrow night as we look at our Chevron upcoming starters.
Certainly a guy you know, Mike Pelfrey.
Yeah, played with him in New York. High draft pick, #1 pick, I think. Out of I can't remember where he came out of. Wichita State or one of those programs.
Right.
Back then, threw hard, had a good sinker, good slider, hard time kind of figuring out how to get it all put together, and I think that continues to be the case for Mike.
Tim Hudson's been looking for his 5th win for a couple of starts, and hopefully tomorrow night's the night.
Pelfrey coming back from Tommy John surgery. He had that May 1st of last year. Tomorrow will be May 21st, and he's pitching in the big leagues. Remarkable. So, again, further hope for Eric O'Flaherty, who will undergo that same procedure with Dr. Andrews tomorrow. Eduardo Escobar checked in on the double switch an inning ago. He leads off the Minnesota 8th. Career night for Julio Teheran.
I wonder how many of those surgeries he does a day.
I don't know.
Dr. Andrews.
How long do they take?
Or a week?
I don't know. Thankfully, I never had one. I don't know.
You hate to say it flippantly, but it's almost like going to get the tires rotated on your car. You know, so many guys come back successfully from that surgery. You're really surprised when someone has to have it either again or it doesn't work. It's remarkable. We saw Chris Capuano dazzle the Braves in that Dodgers series. He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. Tim Hudson's had that operation before. Pelfrey's had it too. They face off tomorrow night, as we showed you.
Chris Medlin, another.
Escobar pops one into center. Upton's got a beat on that. BJ's there, 1 out. That's a career high in innings pitched now for Teheran, 7 1/3.
And he's at a season high in pitches too. 100 had been his high. He's at 102. Nobody warming up in the bullpen.
Here's Dozier. Bryant's 0 for 3 tonight. No hits in his last 13 at bats. And there's a called strike. We'll be big Giants fans tonight. They host the Washington Nationals. That's Zach Duke and Ryan Vogelsong matching up at AT&T Park. Nationals a little worried about Ross Detweiler. He's had a sore back, but may make his next start. And the Giants just happy to get home. They had a real bad defensive road trip. So we hope they play as tough against Washington as they did to the Braves. And fouled away by Dozier, 0-2. Different arm angle from Teheran that time, and Dozier fouled it away. It's still 0-2. Again, Eric O'Flaherty going under the knife tomorrow with Dr. Andrews. Tom has more on that.
Well, guys, you're wondering how often he practices. According to a 2010 Sports Illustrated article, he performs 50 Tommy John surgeries a week. And if you're right about Pelfrey going in on May 1st, I believe that's the same day he operated on newest Brave down in the minor leagues, Joe Beimel, who's coming off of Tommy John surgery last year as well. Same day, 2 guys.
Amazing. 50 a week. I don't know whether to be happy or sad about that. Happy that they have the procedure, but what kind of abuse is going on with some of the young pitchers?
A lot.
In the high school ranks or college ranks, as Dozier lines to left, 2 outs. Just think how different our game would be if there was no Tommy John surgery.
remember when I was a kid, small town in Oklahoma, there was a pitcher from this small town who was really a good pitcher and tore up his elbow, and everybody said, oh, he got bursitis, and that ended his career. Everybody got bursitis. Nobody knew really what the problem was, but we do now.
Bauer, ground ball to second on the first pitch. Julio Teheran is through 8 with a shutout. What a night for the young man. Looking for his 3rd win of the season for the Braves. He's in command.
Hit shutout through 8 innings. Great work for him. Time for our great clip of the game. He was staked to a 4-run lead in the first inning. 3 straight singles. That was the 3rd by Freddie Freeman to drive in a run, and then a 3-run homer by Dan Uggla. Towering shot to left field, his 8th of the year. That made it 4-0. The Braves added another run in the 4th. So 5-0 Atlanta. 3 more outs to get for Teheran.
Gerald Laird goes to work and takes a strike. Crowd tonight 20,173. Braves are averaging a little over 31,000 per home date. This is only the 18th home game for Atlanta. That's the fewest in the National League.
Twins have had 22 home games, and they're averaging just under 30,000 per game at Target Field, 29.6.
We were there a couple of years ago, and that is some kind of a beautiful ballpark.
It looks nice on TV.
They had a real small area to build it in downtown too, and they did a real fine job of squeezing it in there.
And yes, you would have liked pitching there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big high walls, big gaps. And right downtown in Minneapolis, as Laird stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hudson and Pelfrey here tomorrow night. Wednesday afternoon, Vance Worley and Paul Mulholland. It's a business fan special. And an off day Thursday for the Braves. Then we head up to New York and face the Mets at Citi Field Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. And Laird is down on strikes. He's 0 for 4.
It's all right. He's calling a shutout.
You
Yes,
bet.
he is.
1 strike. Reds lead the Mets 4-3. Marlins lead the Phillies 2-1. Dodgers winning in Milwaukee. That's in the 5th inning. They have to go to that bullpen. Arizona 3-zip over Colorado. The other action out west and later. And Douglas scorches one down the left field line, foul. 1-2.
So far, so good for Caleb Thielbar, though. I know everybody back in Randolph, Minnesota, very excited, which is where he makes his home now. Very excited watching him make his major league debut.
Well, they've had some good left-handed pitchers in their system, haven't they? Liriano, Johan Santana. Remember, Denny Nagel started as a Twin.
Frank Viola wasn't bad. I don't think he started with them, but
not too shabby. One of the players that they got in that trade of their outfielders is a pitcher by the name of Alex Meyer. I think he came from Washington. He might be their #1 pitching prospect. He's a 6'9" right-handed pitcher and a real power guy that is getting closer and closer to the big leagues. So they certainly traded some of their present for a chance at a bright future in the case of Alex Meyer.
Now, Meyer was the Washington first-round pick in 2011 and had gone 10-6 in the minors.
And pops one up. Barr is there, makes the play. Has his first chance, and he handles that flawlessly. 2 outs in the 8th. We invite you to celebrate Atlanta's rich diversity with the Braves Heritage Weekend, supported by Belkin Kia. The events include the Champions of Justice panel discussion Friday, tribute to the Negro Leagues game between the Braves and Nats Saturday, and the Tuskegee Airmen and Negro League exhibits all weekend long. Visit Braves.com/heritage for details. So that series with the Nationals is getting closer and closer. Washington got some bad news too. Jason Worth's hamstring isn't healing very quickly. He may need a couple more weeks for Washington, which means there's a chance he'd miss the series against the Braves here at the end of the month. Late strike to Francisco. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Thielbar humped up to 93 and blew it right on by Francisco. 3 strikeouts in his first big league game, and it's last chance time for the Twins, who trail 5-0. finish what he starts tonight. He has scattered 3 hits.
That's outstanding. Gretchen Caney was looking for us about Julio's minor league career. He only had 1 complete game, no shutouts. But I think in large part that's because they protected him so much. He was on a strict pitch count. Didn't pitch very deep into ball games.
I was going to say, I don't think that's through any fault of his own. You're not given too many opportunities to complete games at the minor league level.
And with the great bullpen depth that the Braves had, they've been able to, in past months, turn things over to O'Flaherty and Venters and Craig Kimbrell. So that leads us to ask, when's the last time the Braves had a complete game or a complete game shutout? Well, that man turned both tricks in both times last season.
Well, hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that anyway. If not, at least like we keep talking about, getting into the 7th and 8th inning and shortening that bullpen as much as you can.
So Morneau, Willingham, and Plouffe coming up in the Twins' 9th. Strike 1. Uncharted territory for Teheran here, Tommy. How much is he going to rely on Laird for this potential milestone?
I think he'll continue to rely on him like he has up to this point in time. I think obviously now he's feeling good about what he's doing. He's got a good sense of what's working, what's not working. I think his tendency right here would be to get a little amped up and maybe get in a little bit of a hurry. That's where maybe Gerald calling some off-speed pitches or things like that can kind of slow him down a little bit and keep him in that good rhythm that he's had.
Fly ball left. Upton to his right. 1 out. Morneau's retired. He's retired 16 of the last 18 Twins. The only Minnesotans to reach during that stretch were on a walk and a hit by pitch. So Julio in complete control. And we hope to talk about a big win for Teheran on Braves Live, presented by AT&T, which follows this 9th inning. Strike to Willingham, and he's still humping it up at 92. I don't think we've seen him shake Laird once tonight.
One time he wanted a breaking ball that got hit pretty hard to right field. Laird had asked for a fastball and he went with a curveball and it got hit. That was real early. That was first or second inning.
He wanted that one, didn't get it. 2 balls and a strike.
Great pitch. Razor Baker reminds us too that it's a 3-hitter right now and not a 2-hitter because they changed that error on Freddie Freeman to a hit in the middle of the game.
That's out of play. Willingham will face another 2-2 pitch. That's hammered deep toward left field. Upton can't get it. Willingham spoils the shutout. That's his first home run in his last 78 plate appearances. And it comes in the 9th inning to make it a 5-1 game.
And if Luis Avilan is ready in the bullpen, it probably end his night too. Is it a breaking ball?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a hanger.
Yeah, boy.
Well, you lost your shutout, so what? Try and finish the game.
Plouffe is 0 for 2 with a walk. And that's outside. 19 pitches. And now time will be called as the fan throws that obviously defective baseball back onto the field.
Corey Guerin has joined Avilan in the bullpen too.
One ball, one strike. Three balls and a strike. Into right field past Freddie Freeman. Trevor Plouffe extends his hitting streak to 7 games. And one would think that's going to be it. That is indeed the case. 123 pitches for Julio Teheran tonight. And listen to this crowd at Turner Field in Atlanta.
Didn't get the shout out or the complete game, but continued his great work here tonight that he's had over his last 4 starts. Filling the strike zone, fastball, slider, curveball, strikeouts, ground balls. Really attacked the zone all night long, and I know he's a little bit disappointed that he wasn't able to get the shutout and finish the game, but I'll tell you what, there's nobody in that dugout that's disappointed in the way he pitched tonight, and that's another big step for him in his progress. He's continued to get better each time out and did it again tonight.
It's the most overused question in sports, but I'm going to ask you as we look at Luis Avilan answering the AT call to the bullpen. What is that feeling like walking off the mound of a standing ovation when you pitch the kind of game that Teheran did tonight?
Yeah, if there's many things better, I don't know what they are. I mean, that's just a great feeling knowing that you're coming off the field and getting that kind of appreciation.
Plenty of appreciation for the job Luis has done out of the bullpen.
You didn't ask me.
Joe,
see? Try to get in on that bat conversation.
What's it like high-fiving the starting pitcher?
You have no idea how many. I might have led all of Major League Baseball in being over there to greet him.
But another great step for Julio tonight. 2 balls and a strike. And a line drive by Parmalee into left field. So Avilan is greeted rudely. 3 straight hits for the Twins, who had but 3 coming into this 9th inning. Minnesota will go to the bench with the pitcher's spot up here now. And it's Ryan Doumit. We remember this guy from the Pirates. You've always liked him, Joe.
Always liked him. I thought he gave the Pirates and now the Twins a lot of flexibility because he's a switch hitter. He's a catcher by trade. He can play a little first. He can play the outfield. And if you only want to carry 2 catchers, you could do that and Ryan Doumit because of what he can bring to your ball club. And he can hit. Not doing much this year, but he can hit.
Big fly here would make it a 1-run game. So buckle down and get Doumit. He's hitting from the right side here. Let's see if Avilan can get a ground ball and end the ball game with a double play. Doumit has hit into 3 of them this year. Twins only 23 double plays for their offense. Just missed. 2 balls and a strike.
Doing a pretty good change up there too. Got a little help on that one. Didn't look like a strike. But it was up, so he thought he could reach it.
The 2-2 pitch to Doumit. In the air to right. Hayward chased back a few steps. He'll have plenty of room. The runners hold. That's the 2nd out of the inning. So Avilan gets Ryan Doumit, and Freddie Gonzalez makes his way to the mound again. And he'll take the ball from Luis. Another pitching change as the Braves seek 1 more out in the top of the 9th, leading 5-1. Game Twins have trouble afoot. 2 on, 2 out in the top of the 9th inning. Luis Avilan retires one of the 2 men he was assigned. And now Freddie Gonzalez turns things over to right-hander Corey Guerin.
Guerin was in one game in the Dodgers series 2 days ago. Worked an inning, 0s across. His ERA keeps going down, and all of a sudden it's down under 1.
And with 1 out, he could pick up his first big league save. Tying run will be in the on-deck circle here for Minnesota. And Minnesota will go to its bench. This is Oswaldo Arcia. Ball, no strikes to Arcia.
He's hitting for Hicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, they double switch.
Pop fly down the left field line. Upton near the line, near the stands. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Upton caught it. And that's your ball game. A great running catch and a great way to end a special night for Julio Teheran.
Nice play. Knew he was getting close to the stands, but didn't want to take his eye off the baseball.
Nice one-pitch save. You like that.
And Atlanta, a perfect 4-0 on the homestand. They beat the Twins tonight by a final score of 5-2-1. Back with more from Turner Field. Everybody's happy with the Braves' victory tonight.